What is going on today, guys? Welcome back. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. It is Monday afternoon. We are back in the shop. We had a very busy, eventful weekend doing family gatherings, parties, kind of stuff like that. So we didn't get a chance to be in the shop at all this weekend, but we are back today on this fine, maybe not so fine Monday afternoon. As you can see, we have the 08 pulled back in the shop. Today, on the agenda for today, like I mentioned, we are going to hopefully not lose our back in the process, but we are going to be installing our Thurin full leaf pack. By installing these full leaf packs, we are hoping to accomplish two things, one of which has just been driving me absolutely nuts. That is lifting the back end up that last little bit right now. As you may or may not be able to see, right now the truck is slanted a little bit towards the rear, raked a little bit towards the rear. We gotta fix that. We gotta get this thing sitting perfectly level. If not, maybe just a little bit higher in the rear, I would be happy with. So Thurin does rate these full leaf packs to provide 1 inch additional height. I know, insert your comments right here. So we're hoping to, first off, gain some height in the back, get this thing sitting perfectly level. So number two is just improve the overall ride quality. This thing already rides super well, but what it does lack when it hits some bridge decks, when the rear hits, it does shake the truck. It does a lot better with some weight in the back. Like if you put 1,000 pounds in the back of this bed, it makes the truck ride extremely smooth. So these leafs are supposed to simulate that with no weight in the bed. They're supposed to take your 3/4 ton, your 1 ton truck, and they are supposed to let it ride like a 1500. So they are a super soft spring. I did call them before we got these things, and I'm saying, hey, I do tow with this thing occasionally. It's not a full-time tow rig anymore, but I don't want to sacrifice what I can tow. They said as long as you have airbags or timbering setups or something like that, that it is okay. But if you don't have that and you put these on, you might get a little bit more squat than you're used to because of how soft they are. So other than that, these things will, I think they advertise like 18 inches of travel. We're not doing any Baja, and we maybe do some mall crawling occasionally, but this thing doesn't really see all that much off-road. So super soft ride, additional height, really just the best ride quality for a leaf spring truck is what we're after. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna stop talking, we're gonna get to installing these things. Per usual, we are making slow progress. All we really got done so far is taking the wheels off, getting the jack stands underneath the truck, but there's a couple things I forgot to mention that I want to hit on really quick. Number one, October 20th, that is this Saturday, Maple Grove Speedway is the YouTube Call Out Challenge. If you guys aren't doing anything and you're in that like Harrisburg-ish area, come out. It's gonna be a great day. Gonna be racing the 05. A couple of the diesels are gonna be there. John Dock, me and him, you guys already know what's gonna happen, but we'll leave that up to Saturday. I know he's already scared. He's calling me, figuring out what I'm doing, stuff like that, but I know he's scared. Anyway, onto the truck. What we're gonna try and do, and I hope that this is not the classic case of trying to get out of doing more work and it costs me more time and more work. What we're gonna try and do is not disconnect the shocks, not disconnect the airbags. That would just be more time. Seeing that this is already a full leaf, as you can see, we don't need to really worry about the centering pins. Now, like when you reverse level a truck, you have to worry about getting the centering pins out, flipping blocks. So you need to separate the axle from the leaf quite a bit to drop all that stuff out. Now, seeing that we're changing out full leaf packs, I'm not so sold that I have to do that. All we really have to do is hit that bolt down there, hit the front bolt right here, and I might be able to drop the axle just down low enough, kind of just like how it is now, and slide it out or slide it to the front without really separating the axle too much. I say that now, like I said, I don't know. I've never really replaced like a full leaf pack all in place like this. So we're gonna figure it out, but I figured if I don't have to mess with the shocks, don't have to mess with the airbags, don't have to mess with the traction bars down here, that might save some time. So all we're really gonna do is blast off the 4 U-bolts, which were shortened, and I luckily do have new ones. Well, not new ones, but they are full length ones because we're gonna need those because, as you can see, we only have a couple leaves here as opposed to the massive stack on the other one. So drop these U-bolts out and then attack our rear and front hanger mount and see if we can't weasel that thing out of there and put this new beefy one in. I actually realized that I never showed you guys, I never unwrapped it, but you can see the different, they're much thinner. There's more of them, but they're thinner. So these are technically considered, I guess, a long travel leaf pack, but super pumped. Let's try and get these babies in. Special delivery. Hi, special delivery. One air gun that we forgot when we were doing the hub. How we doing, babe?
Fine.
Gotta get your daily dose of Reagan in. Hey, babes. Hey, babes. How we doing? Ready for bedtime. Hey! How we doing?
Concentrating.
Hey! Alright, we have been waiting for this because obviously we have now parked everything in and we had no way of getting home, so Allie dropped that off for us. Waiting to get the U-bolt bolts off, but in the meantime, we did go ahead. We have the hardware off of the front and the rear, so that is done. We're just going to pop these off and hopefully we can get the bolts out and start pulling these out. So far so good. All right, we did it. One completely out. I feel like the hardest part is still yet to come. Getting more weight back up in there, but we were successfully able to pull that out through the front like that. Hopefully the other side we can do the same. I still have yet to screw around with the bolt by the fuel tank, but I figured, you know what, let's try and get one side on here first. So we're making decent progress, boys. We're getting there. Alrighty, guys, after some serious words, not nice words, we have one in the hangars. How many, leave a comment below, how many of you laughed at me when I said, yeah, I don't think we're gonna have to disconnect the airbags and the shocks? Yeah, go figure. Like, we severely underestimated the whole long travel, 18 inches of suspension, blah, blah, blah. Look at how much lower this thing is sitting than the factory one. It's kind of hard to tell. This thing is drooping. Oh, well, and that one's getting pushed up because the axle's tipped over there. Like, this thing, besides being heavy, but we manhandled that thing in there. It might have taken us a long time, but we got it in there. It is up in the shackles. Got it on the lowest position. I forgot to mention, you do have to run the thur and drop shackles for these things. The way these things, I guess, move and articulate, you have to run their shackles to run these leaf springs. But we're moving along, definitely slow as usual, but we have to do the other side yet, and then what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna take off the traction bars. I mean, we're taking off the traction bars regardless because the blue is going away. We are switching up all of the powder coat in the engine bay down here, and I feel like it's gonna mess up trying to position the axle back up in there as well. So we're gonna take those off. As you can see, the shocks are disconnected, the airbags were disconnected. So that, whew, man. Gym. Who needs a gym? This is definitely the gym. So on to the other side.
2 hours later.
Alrighty, guys, check it out. We are back together. Well, kind of, sort of. We're back down on the centering pins. Both sides are in. Thanks to, look at the stranger who stopped by. He is alive. Holy smokes, he is alive. Jesse, what's your excuse? You don't even have one. Life. Jesse has a girlfriend, actually 2 girlfriends. One's called CrossFit, the other one's called a girl. But we are in. Huge thank you to Jesse. He swung by out of the blue. There's proof that he is alive, and he still does love me.
I love Greg.
Always. All of the love. You know, people get busy. It happens. But we're in. We're getting there. Jesse's got to take off, but we've been busting for about an hour. These things are no joke. The e-brake cable on this side really fought us. We had to disconnect it from the bracketry over here because it really was fighting us getting the axle back centered. But we are back on the pins. Pretty much U-bolts, reassembly, some miscellaneous details, and we'll be able to drive this thing home. I was getting scared. I was actually, I was literally about to text Allie before he showed up. I'm like, you might have to come pick me. You might have to come pick me up because I think this thing might have to stay there. But I think we'll be all right. We'll make it. So
gotta tidy up some loose ends.
And that's about it. I'm beat. What time is it, Jesse?
It's 9:30, I think.
9:30. It's gonna be a late one wrapping this thing up.
Yeah, 9:30.
We're gonna get it done, boys. All buttoned up. Everything is tightened down, ready to go. as you can see, our airbag is MIA. So let me put this kind of loosely back in here for you. We are quite a bit of ways away from making these work. I do know on Thurn's website they sell like spacers, but I think they were like Daystar spacers, and I'm not sure if they'll work with this or not. But we have like a definite, like say a 2.5, 3 inch gap, and we are fully compressed. We are off of the jacks, so this is imitating where it would be fully compressed. So these might need a little bit of, I'm pretty sure that Firestone actually sent you, or sent like in this kit sends spacer pucks for if you have a little bit of a lift in this. So I'm not sure, I don't think I have them. Of course, Greg throws everything away that he thinks that he doesn't need, which is a terrible idea for instances like this, but we just took them out for now. We are going to have to figure out something, so I will keep you guys updated on that. Also, these brackets, sorry, I'm trying to give you some light here. These brackets, because we have the traction bars, are actually welded to the axle. So if that requires any type of change, we'll have to grind off our welds and figure out something different, just because where those bolts, geez, you guys can't see anything here. Right where the bolts that hold that bracket are normally, sorry, wow, talk Greg. So they usually have one little U-bolt that holds that down, and that's right where our traction bar bracket is welded. So both of those are welded to the axle. So might require a little bit more fabrication, but we will get it done. We're about to put the wheels and tires on right now, and then we'll lower this thing down, see where we're at ride height. But we are finished up, good to go for this evening. Yes. Alrighty guys, currently 10:40. Here she is. In the shop, always going to be hard to tell. Definitely higher in the back. I really like the way it looks. We'll see if it settles out at all. We are going to jump in this thing, head home. We need to shower, we need to eat. You know the deal. We need to get home. Alright guys, we are back home. That is going to wrap up this video. Everybody is sleeping. We got to be quiet. I was going to try and show you guys a little bit more of the truck. I'm going to drive it for work tomorrow, see how smooth. I have a really smooth ride home. I don't want to tell you how smooth it is when I haven't really driven it. So we're going to drive it all day tomorrow, and then hopefully this weather cooperates so we can drive it. I can show you guys how it's working, give you guys a full review. But at least we got them installed. Huge thank you to Jesse again for showing up. I'm tired. That's gonna do it. Thank you guys. Hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you.